Hi, scholars. Today I'm going to read you a very special book called Side by Side by Rachel Bright and Debi Gliori. Now, this book is a fun book to read with a buddy. Can you see who I've got here? This is my sister's dog. His name is Roland, and today he's going to be my reading buddy. You can find any kind of reading buddy at home. It could be a human. You could find a pet and read to them. You could even find a stuffed animal and read to them. Either one you choose is going to help you be your best reader. Let's get started. Deep in the heart of Wintermouse Wood, down in the grass where the autumn trees stood, lived all kinds of creatures, some big and some small, some spiky, some furry, some short, and some tall. See if we can fit the whole book in the picture. And here was a family of mouserly folk who nestled in burrow holes under an oak. And the tiniest, weeniest, youngest of those, who had sticky out ears and a whiskerly nose, was named Little Mouseling. She had a huge heart. She loved times together, not ever apart. Which one do you think is Little Mouserling? But being so small, she was sometimes left out when her brothers and sisters went up and about. She would scurry and skip as fast as she could, but they scattered so far across Wintermouse Wood. "Wait for me," she would sing. "Don't run, oh, don't hide. Is there nobody here who will stay by my side?" She looks kind of sad, doesn't she? There's the whole picture. Well, in Wintermouse Wood, you don't have to wait long for one or another to answer your song. "I'll stay by your side, be a friend when you need," came the voice of Toad Flip, who was down in the reeds. "We could bounce up and down and do backflips and jumps, then plop in the water and cool down our rumps." "What kind of a friend is he?" "He's a frog." "How lovely," she said, since she longed to dive in. "I do like to bounce, but this mouseling can't swim." That's going to be a problem, isn't it? From high in the branches, a voice echoed down. "Well, then I'll be your friend," bellowed Big Squirrel Brown. "We can pack up a picnic of hazelnut pie, go up side by side till we're touching the sky." "You're too kind," replied Mouseling. "We'd have such a nice time. And I do like nut pie, but I'm too scared to climb." Puppy sit. Good boy. Owl Hooty? She wanted to soar through the sky, but as everyone knows, mouselings can't fly. Batty Fangs? He wanted to stay up till dawn, but even the thought of it made Mouseling yawn. Uh-oh, I've lost my buddy now. I'm just like Mouseling. She stared at the sky with her eyes big and wide. Would she ever find one who would stay by her side? What do you think? Let's make a prediction. Do you think she's going to find somebody who's just right? Let's see. And as dark came in shadows and rain dropped in drips, the mouseling ran out of her scurries and skips. She sat very quiet in her silvery fur. No one seemed perfectly matching for her. There she is. How do you think she feels about that right now? Poor little mouseling. It seemed in this world she was out on her own. Deep in Wintermouse Wood, she felt quite alone. But someone had heard her side-by-side song. Someone who'd been around all along. He popped up his head from a very small hole, a tiny, weeniest little black vole. That must be a kind of animal, a little vole. He was awfully quiet and terribly shy, but he couldn't hear Mouserly tears and stand by. He's reaching out to her. I think he wants to help her. He peeped, "I'll be your friend," and he gave her a wink. "Shall we dance ourselves happy? What do you think? We could make up some songs," he said, stroking his chin. "Perhaps all of the wood will want to join in." There he is, singing his song. Oh, this was her other. They'd make a great pair. If only she'd noticed, he'd always been there. And now that they'd met, there was so much to do. They could do all the things you can do as a two. There they are, best friends. They could seesaw, play catch, and sit back to back. They could hide in their den and share a nice snack. They could sit and hold paws till daylight was gone. Yes, two little tails are better than one. They were peas in a pod. They were birds of a feather. They were always best friends, whatever the weather. Two wonderful ones had found a forever, and forever is great when you spend it together. And now, side by side, they heard the same tune. So they sang to the stars and they danced to the moon. Yes, deep in the heart of Winter Mouse Wood, a friend by your side makes life twice as good. And that's the end. So, what was your prediction? Did you think that little Mouseling would find a friend just right for her? Did maybe the cover of the book help you think that? I want you to think about a time when you felt like maybe there weren't any friends that were just right for you. Or maybe you couldn't find somebody to play with. Maybe you feel like that right now. What are some ways that we could find a buddy or find somebody who could play with us or talk with us even when it seems like there isn't anybody? You could write a letter to a friend who maybe moved away. You could write a letter to somebody like in a nursing home who is alone too. There's lots of older people who are sitting and they can't have family come and visit them. But you know what? They love to get cards. Maybe we could send cards as a class to a nursing home. Maybe you could write a letter to your mailman telling them thank you for delivering the mail when it's so hard for people to get out anymore. Maybe you could write a letter to a family member who feels alone, like a grandma or a grandpa. Or another thing you could do is you could send a friend a message, like a text message, or you could send them a video. And those are things that we can do in our class as well. Maybe I can help you send a message to a friend in our class. Whatever you do and whenever you feel alone, remember there's always somebody else who is probably feeling the same way as you. And you can find that person, or you can find somebody who's all alone, and you can ask them if they want to be friends too. I have a friend right now who's just walking around. He left me. So let's see if he can help me tell you guys bye. Roland, come here. Come here, puppy friend. 1, 2, 3. Come here. Let's say goodbye. Up. Come here. He was being shy. All right. This book was Side by Side. Join me next time for our next read aloud. Bye!